A beautiful Thursday afternoon to you and welcome to OGTV News at 2. I am Okpayemi Adeomi. The federal government, in conjunction with Ogun State government, is set to commence the construction of 500 housing units for victims affected by the 2018 flood in some parts of the state. This is in fulfillment of the promise made by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, back in 2018 after the assessment of the damage done by the perennial flood. Gbenga Adekoya covered the visit of the federal government delegation who are on inspection to the sites of the project. His reports.
Dated back in July 2018, Ogun State was among few states of the Federation ravaged by the perennial flood that rendered many communities homeless, and federal government, through the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA, has paid a visit to the affected areas to ascertain the level of damage done. Subsequent to this unwanted occurrence, the federal government inspection team was in Abeokuta on a visit to the sites built for the construction of housing units for the displaced victims. Otumba village along Ajebo Road was the first port of call, followed by a visit to trailer park in Soyoye along Abeokuta Sokoto Road. Mr. Kayode Fagbemi, Director of Relief and Rehabilitation, National Emergency Management Agency, who also doubles as the Chairman Federal Implementation Committee, disclosed that the building will consist of 2 bedrooms with other amenities within the layout alongside shopping complex, mosque, church, school, clinic, and security outposts.
The building we are looking at will be about 500. Actually, this approval has been gotten since January 2020. But to recall that between January 2020, there was COVID, there was lockdown, we couldn't move, we couldn't do many things. And we'll try. We are collaborating with the state. The state is going to support part of the project, and we ensure that we can achieve that. We know, of course, there's a little bit of inflation, which is nobody's fault, but we are going to work to ensure that we achieve our target.
The State Commissioner for Housing, Jagumolu Akonde Omoniyi, pointed out that the project, which is in conjunction with the federal government, will go a long way towards alleviating the sufferings of the people, promising to relocate all the people living along the flood-prone areas.
That 500 projected would more than take care of those that were affected by that flood disaster. So just be rest assured that the federal government and the state government will do justice to provide this shelter for this category of people.
The federal government inspection team was accompanied to the sites of the new 500 housing units by the State Commissioner for Housing, Jagumolu Akonde Omoniyi, State Commissioner for Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Barrister Femi Ogunbanwo, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, among others. Gbenga Adekoya, OGTV News.
The Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluoma, has taken his jab of Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine at the Governor's Office Clinic, Okemosun, Abeokuta. The Commissioner for Health in Ogun State, Dr. Tommy Coker, while administering the vaccine, on the Speaker admonished the residents of the state to take advantage of the ongoing inoculation of the COVID-19 vaccine, describing it as a very healthy medical intervention against the virus. Speaker Oluoma commended the state government for its ingenuity and commitment towards flattening the curve of the pandemic in the state. Dr. Tommy Coker thereafter handed over the vaccine certificate to the Speaker in order to authenticate that he has been vaccinated. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has recorded 394 new cases on COVID-19, bringing the total number of infections in the country to 159,646. The NCDC disclosed this on its official Twitter handle, that 374 new confirmed cases and deaths were recorded in Nigeria. To date, 159,646 cases have been confirmed. 139,983 cases have been discharged and 1,990 3 deaths have been recorded in 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The 394 new cases are reported from 18 states: Bauchi 78, Lagos 36, Akwa Ibom 33, FCT 32, Nasarawa 29, Kaduna 26, Rivers 25, Ogun 22, Oyo 21, Edo 20, Taraba 18, Imo 17, Ondo 17, Borno 8, Plateau 7, Zamfara 4, Osun 3, and Kano 1, the NCDC said. The Ogun State Special COVID-19 Task Force will not relent in its efforts at ensuring all protocols, most especially use of face masks, are observed by all and sundry. Team leader, who doubles as the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, made this known in Ibafu and Mowe areas of the states.
Ogun State government is not relenting in its effort at ensuring that the infection rate of COVID-19 reduces, and this can only be achieved where all and sundry keep to the rules of observing the protocols. A special task force saddled with the task of enforcing strict adherence by people has taken its campaign to Ibafu and Mowe areas in Obafemi with the local government, and the level of compliance here is so low, but noticing a mobile court, the people switched gear.
At least above average, because people have been getting aware, the awareness has been made, and people have started complying. If you look at it before, you find out that at least above level, above an average, there is compliance. So we believe that as we keep on going out, people will keep obeying, and they will keep following the protocols.
It is not only to apprehend and make people face the music, but it was an opportunity to scale up the level of sensitization so that the joint efforts could help flatten the curve of the virus under the second wave.
It's not easy for human being, very difficult. Human being by nature, we don't want to obey, but it's our duty to go out to educate them, to tell them that their ignorance is causing a lot of risks to them as an individual and to the community as a whole. And everybody should take responsibility in making sure that you put on your face mask regularly, you wash your hand, and do the social distancing.
Dr. Tony Taiwo, who is the team leader, also used the medium to sensitize the people on the COVID-19 vaccine received by the state government and the effort to rid the state of the virus.
So before we can return back to normalcy, we must ensure that everybody, as a matter of must, is vaccinated in order for us to be confident and be sure that we have arrived safely. You understand? So it's compulsory. There are arrangements going on about how everybody is going to be vaccinated. The medical team in charge are doing all they can so that at least everybody. But it does not mean after you are being vaccinated or you have taken the vaccine that you should not be using your face mask. It's a must. You have to continue using the face mask.
The government is again using the medium to sound a note of warning to all and sundry to adhere strictly to the rules, as mobile courts can be at any area at any time, and the punishment is severe. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
On a bid to find a lasting solution to the lingering boundary crisis between Nigeria and the Republic of Benin, the Ogun State government and officials of the National Boundary Commission, NBC, has paid an on-the-spot visit to Tongeji Island for ethnographic survey. Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Boundary Matters, Mrs. Khadijat Ahmed, will lead the team to the palace of the Akoko of Tongeji Island, Oba Biolorun Kosi Okiki, informed that the Prince Dapo Abiodun-led administration was determined to resolve all boundary issues in the state. She added that the visit would help in addressing the misunderstanding and inadequate information of facts pertaining to the first settlers of the boundary.
kẹ̀dẹ̀ fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn ará federal tó wá kí ìlọsíwájú lè wà ní àwọn border communities yẹn torí gbogbo àdúgbò yìí náà ló jẹ wọ́n lógún Ogun State náà ní gbogbo wa àdẹ̀mọ̀ nǹkan everybody ń faragbá nípa ọ̀rọ̀ àlà bí ò kì í ṣe àlà mọ́ border communities so wọ́n ní kẹ́ fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn náà.
In his remarks, the leader of the NBC team, Mr. Femi Oshinaike, said the purpose to the survey was to obtain first-hand facts on the area, confirm the identity of forced settlers, people, and the location of communities along the boundary corridor of Nigeria and Benin International Boundary. Through an in-depth study of the history, geography, general administration of the settlement and infrastructure facilities. He added that the Commission has been doing all within its power to resolve the problems arising from shared boundaries and would not renegade in its efforts. Also speaking, the Akoko of Tongeji Island, Oba Biolorun Kosiokiki, commended the state government and the embassy team for their efforts, saying that the exercise came at an appropriate time as issues were beginning to get out of hand. He noted that many of their lands had been encroached on and farmlands destroyed, appealing to governments to come to their aid by addressing the issues as soon as possible. The team also visited the palace of Onikbokia of Ikbokia, Oba Adeniyi Adelakun Olaniyan, and Oniko of Ikolaje, Idiroko, Oba John Olakunle Ojo, for an interactive section with Bale's chief and community leaders for the added purpose of gathering more information about border communities. The University of Ibadan, Lagos State University, and the University of Lagos have ranked among the top 800 universities in the world. This was contained in the 2021 Times Higher Education World University Ranking obtained on Wednesday. The ranked UI, LASU, and UNILAG as first, second, and third respectively in Nigeria. Privately owned Covenant University, Ota, Ogun State, was ranked fourth ahead of the federal government-owned University of Nigeria, Nsukka, which came fifth, and Obafemi Awolowo University, sixth in Nigeria. A breakdown of the ranking further showed that UI ranked between 401 to 500, LASU 501 to 600, and UNILAG 601 to 800. The Senate has asked the Federal Ministry of Works and the Federal Road Maintenance Agency to immediately put in motion machinery to temporarily rehabilitate the Lagos-Ota-Abeokuta Expressway, pending its total reconstruction to reduce the hardship and sufferings of Nigeria. The Red Chamber also asked the ministry to include further funding for the reconstruction of the express road in the next appropriation bill. The resolution was sequel to a motion sponsored by Senator Solomon Adiola and 7 others during plenary. Moving the motion, Adiola said the vast stretches of the once motorable and ultra-busy Lagos-Ota-Abeokuta Express Road had totally collapsed without any sign or signal for palliative repairs, rehabilitation, or reconstruction from agencies charged with road maintenance. Senator Tolulope Odebi said priority must be accorded to the road because of the industries on that axis. He urged the Senate to use its legislative instruments to find fundings for the rehabilitation of the road. To assess the threat of insecurity and its impact on schools, the Niger Ministry of Education has directed the closure of all public secondary schools for 2 weeks. The schools are to close from Friday, March 12th to Friday, March 26th, 2021. According to Commissioner for Education, Ajia Anatu Saliu, the closure was to give relevant security agencies the time and opportunity to conduct a comprehensive risk assessment of all public secondary schools. She called for understanding and support of education actors, parents, and communities, while reiterating the government's resolve to leave no stone unturned in ensuring all schools in the state are safe environments for effective teaching and learning. No fewer than 100 miners operating between Anka and Maru local government area of Zamfara state have been abducted by bandits. Emir of Anka, Alhaji Atairu Ahmad, who spoke on behalf of other members of the State Council of Chiefs as chairman, disclosed this when the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS General Loki Rabo, led service chief on an assessment visit to the state governor, Bello Muhammad. The Emir added that the bandits also killed 10 persons during an invasion of a mining site in the state. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atairu, said the Nigerian Army has not done badly, noting that the agency has achieved commendable success in the fight against terrorism, banditry, and other forms of criminality across the country. And on the foreign scene, Myanmar's military rulers have accused the ousted leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, of illegally accepting $600,000 and gold. The allegation is the strongest yet leveled by the military since it overthrew Ms. Suu Kyi and the country's democratic leadership on 1st February. Ms. Suu Kyi's party, the National League for Democracy, NLD, won a landslide victory in the polls last year, but the military now claims the election was fraudulent. No evidence was provided for the charge. Independent international observer has disputed the military's claims, saying no irregularities were observed. Ms. Suu Kyi has been held for the past 5 weeks in an undisclosed location and faces several charges, including causing fear in the land, illegally possessing radio equipment, and breaking COVID-19 restrictions. The illegal payment charge leveled on Thursday was the most serious so far. The value of the gold the military alleged she illegally accepted is roughly £450,000. And in Hong Kong, the party's governing Hong Kong resolution was passed at the National People's Congress on Thursday. It will reduce democratic representation and allow a pro-Benji panel to vet patriotic candidates. It has been widely expected to pass through Parliament. The resolution was passed with 2,895 votes for 0 votes against and the abstention. Detailed legislation will now be drafted and could be enacted in Hong Kong within the next few months. Last year, NPC section had seen the passage of a controversial national security law, which effectively reduced Hong Kong's autonomy and made it easier to punish demonstrators. To round up the news at 2, your failure does not define you, your determination does. Don't forget that you can also watch us live on this platform, Apple, Roku, Facebook, and Android devices. You can also watch us live on OGTV websites, www.ogtv.com.ng/live, or email at info@ogtv.com.ng. Many thanks for staying with us on News at 2. Good afternoon.